I just got done with my hike. There were some really tall mountains that I had to climb. And now I'm hot and I have my water. Oh my goodness. Oh, I need to take a drink. Man, I almost gave up halfway through. The mountains were so high, but I knew I could trust my friend. He told me that this is the perfect hike to take and that I would love it at the end. And I did. I saw a waterfall and I did love it. Man, have you ever had to wait for something that was really good? Yeah, that's what happened to me. I had to wait. So now that I'm back at camp, I'm gonna go ahead and make a s'mores. You wanna join me? Let's get started. So, as you guys know, this week we're talking about trust. Trust is putting confidence in someone you can depend on. So, as I continue to make my s'mores, I want you to watch the rest of the show. Bye!
And Miss Nellie.
Hasn't this been an amazing series on trust?
Yes, I love the story of Joseph. I love it.
Yes.
Kids,
you know what time it is.
It's time for worship.
I've got a reason to keep believing true, whatever comes my way. 'Cause I put my hope and trust in the only one who's faithful every day. In the darkest night, you are by my side. I'm never alone because I know I can always trust you. I can always trust you. Every day and every moment, my future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I've got a Savior who will always walk me through whatever comes my way. 'Cause I put my hope and trust in the only one who's faithful every day. In the darkest night, you are by my side. I'm never alone because I know I can always trust you. I can always trust you. Every day and every moment, my future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust you. Every day and every moment, my future, yeah, you hold it. I know it. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust. I can always trust you. I can always trust. I can always trust.
It's
game time.
Today we're going to be playing Mystery
S'mores.
The way we play that is we're going to be blindfolded and we have to guess the ingredient that is inside this mystery s'more. we really have to trust God now to guess that.
Yes, we do.
We are ready to play. Are you guys ready to play?
Okay, I've got their s'mores here. Don't eat it yet until I tell you. Okay, go ahead and take a bite.
Peanut butter? Like nut, isn't it?
Hazelnut.
Something you put on a sundae.
Ooh,
Chocolate syrup.
no.
Close.
Is it
Caramel.
nuts?
It is caramel.
What? What?
Caramel.
What?
How do you say it?
All right, here comes the next one.
Okay, guys. Here you go. There you go. All right. Go.
It's a pretzel.
It is a pretzel.
I can smell it.
Here's your last one. Whoever guesses this one wins since you guys have one each. Go.
Is this like a Sour Patch Kid?
It is Sour Patch Kids.
Woo! Okay, so the winner is Josh, which means the not so winner is Ruby. So Josh, you can take off your blindfold, but we're gonna have Ruby keep hers on. Woo! Because it's a surprise. Okay, here it is, folks. This is the consequence. Okay, Ruby, here's a trash can just in case you need it. Ruby, do you trust me and Josh right now?
Yes.
Good answer.
Did you know a bottle? Yes, Joe. Yes, you do. That's not enforcement.
Okay. We're not gonna really make her drink the whole thing because she trusts us because she has confidence that we're people that she can depend on. We love you, Ruby. We're not gonna make you want to see what it is.
Yes.
You
should taste that.
After.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap. That's game time, and we're gonna go ahead and get ready for Faith Keys.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Mary here, and I'm with my friend Phoenix today, and we're gonna do the faith keys. But I think I trust him that he knows them better than me, so let's do it.
Number 1 is love God. Number 2 is love people. Number 3 is pray to God. Number 4 is read God's words. Number 5 is tell others about God. Number 6 is worship with your life.
Hey guys, it's Mary, and we're gonna do the memory verse today. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5.
Hi guys, it's Bible time. And our story today comes from Genesis 42 through 45. We're going to continue the story of Joseph, and we're going to pick up where we left off when he was the commander of all of Egypt. And he was in charge of getting enough food for everyone to eat, all of Egypt, even as far off as Canaan. And you know who lived in Canaan? Dun dun dun! Yeah, his father and his brothers. So they had to come to Egypt and get food too. But they had no idea that Joseph was still alive and that he was the governor, the commander of all the food. So Jacob sent his 10 sons to Egypt to get food, but he kept his youngest son Benjamin at home with him. Once they got to Egypt, they came before Joseph, but they didn't recognize him. They didn't know that he was the commander of Egypt. They thought they were just talking to the powerful Egyptian governor, and they bowed down to him with their faces to the ground. Sound familiar? Yeah, well, Joseph recognized them, but he didn't tell them who he was. He sparked spoke harshly to them, and he said, "Where do you come from?" And they told him that they came from Canaan. Joseph remembered the dreams that he had had long ago, where his brothers would someday bow down to him. Yeah, just like they were doing right now. Joseph wanted to test his brothers, so he told them, "I don't trust you. I think you might be spies. So in order to gain my trust, you have to go back to Canaan and bring back your brother Benjamin." Well, yikes, they didn't know what to do, but they had to have food. So Joseph had his people fill their bags with grain, and then he decided to put all their money back in their bags because he wanted to test them. As soon as they left, he turned away from them and he cried. He was so emotional for seeing his brothers for the first time. Well, he also said that they had to leave one brother behind. So they left Simeon behind, and he was tied up and he was put in the prison. The brothers set off from home and they stopped for the night. And one of them opened up a bag of grain and he saw the money inside. It was like they hadn't paid for their grain that Joseph had given them. The brothers started to tremble with fear. When the brothers made it home to Canaan, they told their father what the governor had done. Yeah, they still didn't know that it was Joseph, and that he had demanded that they bring Benjamin back to Egypt to prove that they were telling the truth. And when they opened up their bags of grain, all of the money was in the bags. They figured he wanted to make sure that they owed him money so that that Joseph could have a reason to be mad at them. They were scared to death, and Jacob was not pleased. He said, "You have taken my children away from me. First Joseph, then Simeon, and now you want to take Benjamin away too?" But they had no choice. The only way they could get enough food was to go back to Egypt and to take Benjamin with them. Judah, one of the brothers, promised that he would keep Benjamin safe. Jacob agreed to let them go as long as they took some gifts back to the governor. He also told them to take twice as much money. That way they could pay back for the grain that they had already had, and also to pay for the grain they still needed. The brothers said goodbye to their dad, and this time they had Benjamin with them. When they arrived in Egypt, Joseph saw them, and he saw that Benjamin was with them. He invited them to a meal at his house. They figured Joseph would be mad at them, but the officer told them, "Don't worry about it. He's not mad." He released their brother Simeon to come and have the meal with them too. When Joseph arrived, the brothers were already seated down. They gave him the gifts that they had brought with them from Canaan. Joseph asked if their father was still alive, and they told him that he was. And then he looked to Benjamin and he said, "Is this the youngest brother?" He was very emotional when he saw Benjamin, so he hurried away to cry where they couldn't see him. Joseph washed his face and he came back. And they all sat down to eat together. Joseph gave Benjamin 5 times as much as the other brothers. And Joseph gave this order to his manager: "Fill the men's sacks with as much food as they can carry. Put each man's money back in their sack again. Then put my silver cup in the youngest one's sack. Put it there with the money that he paid for his grain." Joseph sent his manager to run after them and accuse them of stealing the cup. He said if one of the brothers had the cup, that person would have to become his servant. Sure enough, Joseph's manager found the silver cup in Benjamin's sack. Oh, the other brothers were so upset. They had specifically told their father that they would watch over Benjamin, and now he would have to stay in Egypt and be a servant. The brothers returned to Joseph's house. They threw themselves on the ground in front of him. They told Joseph that they were guilty and to keep them all as the servants. But Joseph said only the one who had the cup had to stay, meaning Benjamin. Judah spoke up. He said that if they returned to Canaan without Benjamin, their father would be so upset that he would surely die. Judah said that he had promised that he would keep Benjamin safe, so please take me in his place. Finally, Joseph could not control himself any longer. He told everyone to leave except for him and his brothers. And then he said, I am Joseph. The brothers couldn't believe it. This was their long-lost brother, the one that they had sold into slavery. Joseph could have done anything to them. He could have finally had his revenge. But that's not what he chose to do. He asked them to come close and he said this, don't be upset and don't be angry with yourselves because you sold me here. God sent me ahead of you to save many lives. Somehow Joseph had decided not to be angry with his brothers, but to forgive them. He trusted God enough to know that he could see God's bigger plan. He could see that all the good and the bad things that had happened in his life were part of God's purpose. What do you think Joseph and his brothers did next? Yes, they cried. They were so happy, and they forgave each other. And to top it all off, Joseph invited them to live with him in Egypt. They returned home to their dad. They told him that Joseph was still alive, and they wanted them to come and live with them in Egypt. Through everything that Joseph had gone through in his life, he knew one thing that was always true. God was always with him. He knew that God had a bigger plan for his life. And over the years, God grew them into a mighty nation, just as he had promised long ago to Abraham. You'll face a lot of ups and downs in your life, just like Joseph did, but bottom line, you can always trust God has a plan.
Hello everybody, once again, welcome to the Salvation Station. Well guys, it's that time again that you have a great opportunity to invite Jesus Christ to come live in your heart as your Lord and Savior. If you have never invited Jesus to be a part of your life, right now is a great opportunity to do so. So all you have to do is say this prayer for me. It's a simple prayer. Dear Jesus, I confess that I'm a sinner. Jesus, I ask you to come into my heart and live as my Lord and Savior. I believe that you died on the cross for my sins, and I believe on the third day the Father raised you back to life again. Lord, help me to trust you, help me to believe in you, and I ask these things in Jesus' name. And I say amen.